Ahoy, hoy, everyone! Welcome to another episode of the O Show. I am O, and I am here for your amusement. All right, in today's episode, we are going to talk about this movie called Barbarian. It's a 2022 release, and you can watch it right now on HBO, and it's also streaming on HBO Max. All right, here we go. So, if you have not seen this movie, go see it first, and then come back. And join the party because I'm about to spoil the hell out of this movie. All right, so I'll be honest. When I first watched this movie, I was on the fence. There's some things I liked and there's some things I didn't, and we'll get into that. But after viewing it again, I do have to say this movie is actually pretty good, and we'll go over why. So we start off with a character named Tess, who is in town in Detroit for a job interview. And Tess is played by Georgina Campbell. And she gets to this Airbnb that's on this crazy ass looking street that looks like a war took place. And this is like the last house that was standing. Um, so she goes to get the key out of the lockbox, but there's no key. What the hell? So we come to find out that there's a dude inside, and apparently the place got double booked. The dude inside is named Keith, and that is played by he's played by Bill Skarsgård. Okay, so Tess goes inside because it's raining, and she's like, "What the hell is up with this dude? Like he's weird." And same thing on my mind, like Keith the suspect. He's the killer. Like I already solved the case. So they end up sleeping, not together, but she's in the bedroom, he's on the sofa, and shit's going down where like she wakes up and her bedroom door is open, but Keith is on the sofa. So we're like, okay, like how did that happen? And then we notice in the background that there's someone else or something in the house by the basement door. Okay. Obviously Keith is hiding a monster. All right, so next day, Tess comes home. She needs some toilet paper. She's looking around the house. She goes into the basement, and she ends up getting locked in the basement. So while she's like looking around, she finds this secret door that leads to this hallway. And at the end of the hallway is a room that has nothing but a bed, a bucket, and there's a video camera on a tripod. Keith. And blood on the wall is filthy and dirty, and what is going on? So Keith ends up coming back to the house and frees her from the basement, and she's telling him about what she found. And he's all like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I want to see it myself. So then he goes down there and never comes back. And so she's like, ugh, now I'm going to go down there and find you. And I'm going to die now because you playing games. So she does. She goes and she finds another door that leads to some stairs that goes under the house, like the secret, like underground network of tunnels and things, which I do have questions about. But so we find out that Keith is not our murderer. Sorry Keith, I totally thought it was you. We're introduced to this creature called the Mother, and I don't even know how to describe this lady. Like, you just go watch the movie. It's super creepy and gross, but in a good horror way. All right, so what happens to Tess? We don't know because now we go to AJ, who's played by Justin Long, who's this douche, like actor, and apparently raped one of his coworkers, and of course, oh, I didn't do it. But you know, now he's in legal trouble and he needs money. So we find out that AJ is actually the owner of this Airbnb. So he says, okay, I want to sell the property. So he goes there and he sees like Tess's and stuff, and Keith's stuff is still there. He's like, what the hell? But whatever. He starts measuring the place and ends up going into the basement, finds the secret passageway, finds this creepy room with the nasty mattress and things, and instead of going like, "Oh my god, like what the hell is happening?" he thinks like, "Well, I'm just gonna measure this room and get more money for the square footage." AJ. Mm-hmm. Okay, so look it. He goes into the secret tunnels, and he encounters Mother, and she throws him to a pit. So also in the pit is Tess. So she's still alive. Um, Pretty much what is happening is that back in the 80s, this is one of the things I guess I missed the first time I watched it. I don't know if I was talking or whatever, but like when they go to the flashback on the original owner, who's a man named Frank, we find out that Frank has been kidnapping these women in the neighborhood, taking them downstairs, and has been pretty much raping them, having children with them, and then raping the children, and so on and so on. So at first I was like, well, when was this flashback? But I guess the big key of the flashback was there's a videotape in it, and videotapes weren't around to the 80s. So, okay, this flashback is the 1980s. Because at first I didn't know if it was like the 60s or something. But, so it's the 80s. I mean, the people, their outfits, were we wearing that in the 80s? I don't know what town this was. But, Tess escapes. Justin's trapped in the tunnels. Uh, Tess finds help or gets info from a homeless man named Andre. Now Andre at one point is like, nah, I'll let you see that part. That's spoiling everything. So anyway, there's a homeless man who actually tells Tess like, hey, there is this lady in this house. She comes out at night. She be like doing some shit. And where I'm stationed at down the street, like she never comes by me. So I've been in this neighborhood for like I forgot how many years. Um, Tess goes back. It tries to get the cops to come, but at that time, she's been missing for like a week ish. So she's just looking a hot mess. So the cops are like, okay, well you're just obviously some druggie, and what are you saying? Because we don't believe you. So they're pretty much helpless. So she's like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and just do this myself. So, blah, 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 blah. All right. So, AJ is walking around the tunnels and he comes to a room where the mother creature does not want to go. So we're like, what's in that door? He opens the door. And it's the old man, Frank. Like he's been in under the house like this whole time. So now we're talking about like 40 years. And Justin's like, Justin, AJ is like, well, I'm gonna call the cops. The cops are coming. You're gonna be in big trouble, mister. And so there's a whole bunch of videotapes on this shelf, which now lets us know, like, okay, all these tapes is what's been recorded in that room. And there's a lot of fucking tapes, let me tell you. Um, the old man ends up shooting himself because he's like, oh no, the cops are coming. Which, dude, you're like old as hell. So, anyway, you should have shot yourself a long time ago with this mess you've been living in. It was gross. Okay, so my thing is, there's like cages down there at one point that we see, and there's like a videotape of this lady nursing a baby, which is why the mother has kept Tess around because she now thinks Tess is like her child. Like she's even trying to like breastfeed AJ, which is like super super gross. But like my thing is like, where are the bodies of all these other people? Like if I had seen maybe like a corpse or corpses in those cages, then I could be like, okay, well maybe those are like some of the kids that he had that have died and just been in this tunnel. Like, supposedly he's been doing this over the years, and we only have the one survivor person, the mother character. Like, where are all these bodies at? Like, are they buried somewhere? Are they in the building? Are they in a graveyard behind the house? Like, that part is what I really wanted, I guess. I don't know if I'm just overthinking that particular part, but it's nice to have the backstory, but then where are these people? And how are they surviving? And what are they eating? How, like, there's a whole bunch of like bottles in the old man's room, but is the mother like going out and grabbing food, or are they eating like roadkill? Like, how are they surviving? That's what I want to know. Do they go up in the house? Like, maybe they could have had uh, Tess or Keith bring a pizza back to the Airbnb, and then the next morning or something, like, the pizza's gone. Who ate the pizza? And then we could have, like, okay, well, she's sneaking around grabbing food, and that's how they're surviving. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But that's one reason I didn't like the movie at first, because I love the twist, I love everything, but then I just had questions. Um, yeah. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree. I don't care. Put it in the comments. Just be nice. Behave. Um, Other than that, you know what? It's a really good movie. Like, go watch it. See what you think. Um, the finale of the movie is that Justin and Tess. I keep calling him Justin. The finale of the movie is a scene where Tess and AJ escape the house, and they go find Andre. Uh, just for some cover, because Andre's like, well, the mother creature never comes over here, but guess what? She makes a special appearance and kills Andre. They always killing the black people, and Tess and AJ run to this tower, like a water tower, I think, and they're being chased by the creature. And then AJ, who's like a super dick, like, if you haven't figured that out already, um, actually throws this poor girl off the tower, thinking that the creature is going to run after her, which it does. But damn, dude, like, he was just like, "Sorry, babe, I'm just gonna just sacrifice you, and then go about my merry way." And the mother, who's like, this is my child, which is why she's kept Tess around for a while, for that time, actually does dive off the tower. And in the end, we find that Tess is still alive after the fall, because the creature broke her fall. So she landed on this creature. And this mother is already like she has like, not superpowers, but she's super strong, which I guess is like a genetic mutation thing that happened after all these birth successes through the years. So they're both alive. I don't even know how she survived, but it happens. But she ends up killing AJ, which he deserved. And then she wanted to take Tess back to the house, and Tess is like, bitch, I ain't going back to that house. So Tess ends up killing the monster, and then walks away, gets to her car, and drives off. Never to come back to Detroit ever again. um, but yeah, that's how the movie ends. It's super crazy, super crazy. Um, but in the end, it's actually good, because whoo, child, there was just too much happening in this movie. Okay, like, that's why I was just like going back and forth. Like, is this good? Is this bad? Like, but you know what? In the end, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. You have to really just kind of pay attention and watch, and just don't think too hard about it, like I was doing. So tell me what you think. Um, do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I crazy? I don't know. But let me know in the comments below. Okay, let's rate this movie. So, if I had watched this movie and then rated it the same day, I probably would say like 2 shots. Why? I really did like the twist at the beginning. Like this movie just had me all like anti Keith. Like I was not on Keith's team. And and then the movie was like, well, fuck you because you're wrong, and it's not Keith. So that's what you get for judging. So I really did like that twist because when it happened, I was like, oh, I stop judging people. Um, I'm gonna give it another one just for the monster. That monster was creepy as hell. Like it is a surprise. She's so gross. Oh my god, it was terrible, terrible, terrible. Um, I still think I kind of wanted more info on like the past children and all that stuff that was happening. Uh, Throw me like a room full of bodies. If there was like a room full of like skeletons, then I would be like, okay, those are those kids, those are the bodies, and kind of validates the story that Andre told of what has been happening under their house for all those years. So yeah, I'll give this movie 3 shots. How about that? I'll give you 3 vodka shots, and which means I had to take these vodka shots. All right. Should I give this movie 4 ratings? No, I'm gonna give it 3, and I'm Lord, this part of the show. All right, cheers. Oh, why do I fill these up so much? Ugh. All right, here we go. Whew. Oh, God. All right. Yay, it was a good show. All right, so let me know your. Oh, hey, Fifi. Are you going to join me? Well, the show's over now, so no one cares. All right. That's my dog, Fifi. She decided to make a special appearance. Say hi to the people. Let me move the beer out the way. All right, you guys. So, thank you for watching. I will see you next time. My name is O. This is the O Show, and I am here for your. You gonna say amusement? You gonna say amusement? All right, I'm here for your amusement. Bye. TTFN.